Okay, guys, welcome to my studio. Hi, everybody. I hope the audio is okay. I am working without headphone because the secret of the Ciao Massimo, the secret of infinite sustain is there is no secret in reality. Nothing new, nothing strange, only physical effect. Okay, thank you so much, Massimo. So many people was really amazed about my last videos with these presets because the, let's say, infinity sustain. Many people believes that there are something strange, some very strange effects and so on. But in reality, this effect, it is a simply control feedback. It is a physical effect between the guitar and the source of the sounds from the speaker itself. When there is enough volume, enough gain, and when there is the right guitar, of course, and right equipment, it's quite easy to establish a loop, an interaction between the sound, okay, that comes from the speakers and a physical effect is an acoustic pressure that the strings and the instrument is under the acoustic waves. So it starts an infinite loop, okay, that creates what many of you call sustain. To me, sustain is different. Sustain, it is the natural effect of the instrument itself without any external influence. To me, sustain is what this is sustain. Okay, it is a natural is natural characteristics of the guitar. This is sustain. It is the time the time that the strings are can play. Thank you, Leopoldo. The control feedback is different. Okay, sustain is a part of the system, but control feedback is completely different, because sustain, as I told you, you can have sustain without the speakers. It is a natural characteristic of the guitar, of the instrument itself. But the feedback is different because there is an external effect from other kind of influence. Let's say in this case, our speakers, and of course it is a combination. To get this effect, and it is nothing special for the digital, it is a natural effect you can have in the analog world with the normal amplifier. And many guitarists use this effect, like Santana, like Joe Satriani, like Gary Moore, like Jeff Beck, like Steve Lukather, like David Gilmour. Any guitar player that play with enough volume on the stage can get these effects pretty easily because the volume is quite high. There is a balancing between the volume and the gain. More gain, less volume. More volume, less gain. It is a inversal proportions. I don't know if it's correct, but you understand. So if we analyze these presets, okay, it is my MFGM presets you can find in my store. The amp, it is a Soldano's Law 100, more or less the settings is the default. It is an high gain amp, of course. I use a drive, not, as you can see, it's not so high drive. It's only to boost, to give the small percentage of more gain and more high frequency to favor to become easy the loop effect. Okay, so it's quite easy. What is really important, and I want to show you, is the volume I have in my room. This is really important. I hope that, okay. And to do this, I wanted to show you this special object. This is a phonometer that can measure how many decibels I have in the room. This is the real secret of of the infinite sustain, because to get the infinite sustain you have for sure loud volume, gain. Okay, so the guitar has to be so sensitive to get the external influence, and of course you have different possibility. With the guitar amp is, let's say, easier to get this effect because the nature of the guitar speakers are practically they are a mid-range. It's not a full range speakers. They are a mid-range speaker. They are cut in the high frequency and in the bass frequency, and the maximum efficiencies of these speakers is in the mid-range. This is the typical behavior of the guitar cabinet. It is completely different of the behavior of the FR cabinet, because FR cabinet has no mid-range. Typically, they have the tweeter and they have the woofer. And the mid-range itself, it is an interpolation between the tweeter and the woofer. For this reason, there are two effects of this. For the guitarist, the feeling of the FR speaker are not so good, because the mid-range is missed. This is a big problem. This is the first effect. The second effect is more difficult to get the control feedback, because the sound is an interpolation, and there is the tweeter and the woofer who are not in the same line, in the same axis, and to get the maximum effect of the control feedback, you have to find the focus of your speakers, and it is not easy. So you have to be at a certain distance. In this case, I'm using my monitor. They are professional monitor, of course. To me, is quite easy to find the focus, because the monitor are placed in the right position. I can show you. I can show you my monitor. Okay, one and that one. So they create a triangle. I am in the let's say in one of the angle, and also I have in this case I can use my FR guitar speaker. It is the Red Sound by G66 Alice 8 speaker, and this is really important for this usage, because this speakers is a really important characteristics. I can show you here. As you can see, the speakers are not the standard speakers, is a coaxial drive speakers. This is the woofer, this is the tweeter. The tweeter is in the same axis of the woofer. So the sound itself, the focus of the sound is single. There is no two different. Typically, on the standard FR speaker, the tweeter is in a different position. It is not in the same axis. And this has two problems. One, if for the guitar player, as I told you, the feeling is not friendly, and of course it's more difficult to find the focus of the sound. For this reason, we use these special speakers for such kind of cabinet. Of course, this is a FR in any case, because the range of frequency is in the FR range. So please be aware about the FR terms because many of you make some confusion regarding the FR speakers. FR is a standard full range flat rate. This is the meaning of FR. In the full range flat rate, you can find any kind of speakers that fulfill this requirement. Monitors are FR speaker, headphone are FR, stage monitor, PA, hi-fi, stereo car, any kind of system that is able to reproduce in a quite linear way the range of the full range. Full range means 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz, okay, more or less, in the linear way. So many, because unfortunately the guitar player are not confident with the audio professional world, and sometimes I see some really wrong sentence because they distinguish monitors between FR speaker. For many guitar player, FR is a cabinet for digital model, and this is wrong. This is wrong because FR is a term that comes from the past. It's nothing new. Okay, only the guitar players are new in this world, and they wrongly call this cabinet as FR. I don't know why, but it is this. It's true that some company develop special FR cabinet for the guitar player and for digital model like this one. But what is special? The special is the design, because this design is made to be on the floor, to be placed on the floor behind as a backline, because typical the guitar player like to have the cabinet behind, not in front. Okay, of course you can put also in front because you have a possibility to put in the straight way or in the slant way. Okay, as you can tilt the cabinet. Of course you can use it in front of you, but typically the use is behind you, exactly like the guitar player. So the design itself and the special drive, the drive is designed especially for this cabinet, is a custom drive to get the feeling of the guitar cabinet. That means more mid-range pressure. This is really important. More mid-range and unique focus, acoustic focus, due to the coaxial drive. Okay, I don't see any questions, so you are so smart and so skilled, and you understand everything that I'm saying. Okay, maybe my English is so bad that you don't understand nothing. Okay, sorry for this. But in any case, if you have questions, now it is the time to place your question, because there is a lot of confusion. There is a mess in this world. I see very stupid sentence regarding FR cabinet, and also some companies doesn't give a very nice contribution for this, because, for example, there is a very famous brand that call FR cabinet for digital model a really standard cabinet. They put out the label and they put on a new label with the name of the modeler, okay, and they call it is a cabinet for digital modeler, and this is absolutely wrong. It can be used for the digital model as any kind of stage monitor, but it is nothing special, absolutely. And I can say more. That is really not good for the guitar player because it's too bassy. In fact, many people complains that the cabinet sounds too much bass, because that cabinet is made to place on the stand, like a very small PA for DJs, karaoke, and so on. Very small gig. It is made to play on the stand, not on the floor. When you put that cabinet on the floor, you need to cut the bass frequency. Otherwise, with the woofer of 12-inch, the bass response is diffused everywhere, and the effect is really, really bad. So that speaker is not special design, is absolutely standard, and I can tell you more, it is an entry-level speaker, because when you spend €300 or $300 for that speaker, you have nothing special, okay? This cabinet costs much more, because there is a design, because there is a special custom drives, and so on, and so on. Okay. Okay. So, hola, ciao Igor. Amin Marai. I don't know. Sorry for my. Cannot read. What's the advantage of an FRFR versus normal guitar cabinet? Since usually we shape the IR or add an EQ to the fit usual. Okay, this is very quite interesting questions from admin. Many guitar player that start to use the digital modeler and use the standard guitar cabinet. It's not forbidden, of course, but is not the right is the right way to get the full advantage of the guitar player. Because if you use the guitar cabinet like Marshall 4x12 with the greenback speaker, okay, that cabinet influence at least 60-70% the voice of your modeler. What I mean, if you have a Marshall, good works, okay. If you have a Fender doesn't use greenback, doesn't use 4x12. So you have a Fender. It's like you bring a Fender, unplug the cabinet, and plug the cabinet, the power amp to the Marshall. Okay, you have a clean sound. You have a Fender sound, but into the Marshall cabinet, and the sound is completely different from the original cabinet. And this example you can reproduce for any kind of amplifier, especially the combo Vox AC30 or Fender Princeton, or and so on and so on. So in the sound chain, the amp and cabinet influence at least 60-70% of the voice of your sound. So if you use the guitar cabinet, you can do this. Of course, you have to disable. Absolutely, you have to disable the cab block on the modeler, because you cannot use the simulation of the cabinet, because you have the real cabinet, and that cabinet influence a lot of the main sound. The FR speakers doesn't give any influence of your sound. So you can use a Marshall amp with the Marshall impulse responses. You can use a Fender amp with the Fender impulse response. You can use AC30 amp with the AC30 cabinet, and so on. And you have the completely different sound. Like you place the microphone or in front of your cabinet. If you use guitar cabinet, you have the voice of that guitar cabinet, and the voice of guitar cabinet is the 60% of the sound. So you lose a big amount of the benefit of the simulation for this reason. And of course, what you hear on stage from that cabinet is different, okay, from what the sound engineer has on the FOH, on the mixer. Of course, you have to microphone. You have to put the microphone in front of the cabinet, for example. And it's okay. There is no any big advantage to use digital modeler. It's much more convenient in that case to continue to use the amplifier. Okay. No. To have the most benefit of the digital model I can say, is convenient to have the complete simulation, amp and cabinet. Okay, some people, some guitar player wanted to have the guitar cabinet on the stage because they are confident with that sound, but the engineer can create the same impulse response of the cabinet, so the sound that go to the mixer is the same. In that case, you can do this, but you have your own sound. You know that cabinet, you have the impulse response that is really similar to the cabinet, but of course you cannot have a typical simulation, because if you want a Vox AC30, you cannot get the sound, for example. I hope that you understand me. Otherwise, I can repeat without a problem. String theorist, what is the difference between Alice 8 and MF10? Is only the dimension of the woofer. Alice 8 is 8-inch woofer speaker, and F10 is 10-inch woofer speaker. The power amp is the same, but because the speaker is bigger, the MF10 has more power. If I remember, they have 300 watt 4-channel, and Alice 8 MF10 are stereo. They have the stereo built-in power amp, so you can use the single active speaker. Then you can connect the passive unit. But the difference is, is the shape is a bit different, and the main difference is the speaker. MF10 is louder than X80, but it's not due to the power amp itself. It's due to the dimension of the speaker. So if you have, to be honest, I use Alice 8 even in a big stage. But if your drummer is really strong, I suggest you to use the MF10 in a stereo combination. Stereo is mandatory for this. It is my personal suggestion to get a very amazing sound. Jerry Sander. Hi Marco, nice job, good concert for tonight. Unfortunately, I cannot. I have not had a concert. I will tell you. I played there at Piazzolla sul Brenta just yesterday. And Jerry, unfortunately, we have to skip this Saturday for the healthy problem. I already know several of this concept only because I have following you for some time. Thank you, Massimo. Thanks for everything you have taught me. Thank you so much, Massimo. Cosa ne pensi di nuovi ampli Black Star serie St. James? I don't know, Evil Gore. I don't check. To be honest, it's a long time that I don't check analog and standard amplifier. Smelly Tele. I have a Xeton with the coaxial speaker and also cab with the Celestion F12. Both sounds great. I often refer to them as a FR. Sorry about that. Okay. I don't know Xeton with coaxial speaker, but the concept is a similar. The coaxial drive is not new. This is custom design for the Alice 8 and MF10, but the coaxial drive is not a new technology. Many stage monitors use that technology, of course. Also, the Celestion FR speaker has the same technology. Is a drive, is a coaxial drive. String theorist. What is the difference between Alice 8? Okay, I already told you. Hi Marco, is it possible to get good sustain at bedroom volume? Antonio Scozzarella, I can say no. I can show you the volume I'm working now. Just a moment, I switch off the microphone. Okay. And this is the normal noise I have in the room. Now there is nothing. This is the noise comes from the air cooling. So you have to reach over 100 dB. 100 dB you cannot get 100 dB in the bedroom, and this is absolutely physical law, and there is nothing. There is no magicians, no wizard, no special astronomy engineer, chemical, nothing. This is only volume. There is only one system that can reproduce the same effect. Is the Sustainiac. Sustainiac is a pickup that you can install in your guitar, or some guitar are already equipped with this pickup. Sustainiac is a magnet that it is able to create an oscillation of the strings. It is of course another time it is a physical effect that in that case is not come from the acoustic, but comes from the magnets of the pickup. The principle are the same. The concept is the same, because in any case there is something that creates a loop. Okay, in that case there is acoustic loop. In another case is a magnet effect loop. Okay, so if you need to get the infinite loop in the bedroom, the only way is to have to use the magnet artificial Sustainiac, or the EBO itself, but EBO is different. The problem is with Sustainiac is able only to the neck pickup, so you can get the sounds only for the bridge. So when Sustainiac is working, you cannot use the neck pickup because it's working like a Sustainiac. So you can get the effect only for the bridge, the voice of the bridge pickup. If you want to have the feedback of the neck, okay, you cannot do that. It's typical Santana feedback. And sometimes the feedback it depends also of the geometry of the guitar. Not in all on all strings is possible to start easily the feedback itself. Sometimes there are some notes that are doesn't work. In this case, I have a problem with the G. Thank you for subscribing, Walter. Thank you for your subscribing. Okay, Mark Shaw, Brazilian here. Ciao, Mark Snow. So I hope I answer you, Antonio, regarding. Let's have a look on the preset itself. The preset is based on this cabinet. It is a diesel cabinet. It's a custom made by Valhall cabinet. You can find it embedded in the preset if you want, or you can buy from Valhall, of course. This is the Soldano solo 100 lead, nothing special. And as I told you, I use the drive to give a boost. I can also switch on the compressor. I don't use the compressor in this case, but I can also use. Typically, I use the compressor only for the clean sound, but you can use also for the distortion sound. Sorry, and helps to increase the possibility and the feasibility of the gain. I can show you. So let's switch the microphone. And as you can see, the natural feedback, natural control feedback also generates different harmonics, depending on their position. As you in the front of the speaker, it is a single the first harmonic, and if I play by side is a second high harmonics. So this is the reason, if you know Satriani, Joe Satriani or Steve Vai, sometimes they play on the stage and they move their position and they can get, especially if you listen to Satriani, Flying a Blue Dream is pretty easy because I can, you know, maybe I have the backing track of, let me check, just a moment. Flying in a Blue Dream. Flying. Okay, this is. Sorry, I don't remember. But it is only a sample to show you as a typical effect from Joe Satriani sounds that the Flying the Blue Dream is a typical effect, and he moves over the stage to get the different harmonics on the control feedback. Okay. Rock guitar vibes. Did you ever try out the Fractal pedal from Digitech? No, I don't need because on the stage I never need to get. It's to me it's pretty easy to get the feedback because I always use my LS8 or MF10 cabinets just to have such kind of effects easily. Is absolutely not a problem to have. I don't need external devices to get the control feedback. Okay, Massimiliano Forlani. Hi Marco, good and afternoon. Regarding bedroom feedback, I would propose to add some overdrive to original sound. However, the sound texture may change a bit up. It helps. Yes, of course. As I told you, Massimiliano, the control feedback, it is a matter of a combination of volume, okay, acoustic pressure and gain, because volume create the acoustic wave, okay, and the gain gives much more sensitivity to your guitar. So if you have more gain, you don't need a high volume, and vice versa. Okay, you can add a tremendous gain, so you need a really low acoustic wave, low volume. But as you wrote, the more gain means compromise the quality of the sounds. Okay, The best is in the middle. So the best is the good combination between the right volume and the right gain. The enough gain that doesn't compromise the nature of the sound, because you can add 3 overdrives, 4 overdrives. You can set your gain to the top, but the sound is a really fuzzy sound. It's impossible. Okay. Does the geometry and the material of the pickup also influence the success of the feedback? Yes, absolutely. Massimo Romagnoli, of course, is more easy to get the infinite feedback, infinite sustain from the humbucker pickup, of course, because they have much power, especially with a high power pickup. Depends on the geometry of the guitar. With the Les Paul is pretty easy because it is a set neck guitar. The true neck is more. Of course, depends. With the Stratocaster, you need a really high volume to get, and sometimes the volume is so high and the gain so high that you have another bad effect. Is not anymore the control feedback, but is uncontrolled feedback. That's the guitar start to scream, yeah, and that is really impossible. So with the single coil, low power single coils is, let's say, quite difficult to get. It's not impossible, but it's difficult, of course. Mabu, thanks for explanation. So I understand that the sustain is generated by the volume in the bedroom, but we hear a direct signal, right? So if you turn down the speakers in the room, feedback will collapse. Exactly, Mabu. If I raise down the volume, as I showed you before, the acoustic pressure in my room now is over 100 decibel. If I switch off the monitors, I cannot get any more the feedback. I can show you immediately. So let's go down with I can use my, sorry. So the sustain, just a moment that I have to have the feedback. Okay. So the sustain itself is long because this guitar is amazing and has a lot of sustain. This is the sustain of the guitar. It's long, of course, but it's not infinite, because there is nothing that influences the string to continue to make the vibration. I can have a long sustain with the compressor, but it's not infinite sustain because there is no external effect to close the loop. Okay? Oh, there is a love chat, XYZ, the best add will that inside. Oh, is fully of this account. This is the life of the live streamer. Okay, guys. Ok. Block user, block. Buon pomeriggio a tutti. Ciao Mutella. Thanks for kind reply. Remember many years ago, Boss produced for super feedbacker and distortion BF2 models. Simply keeping pressed the pedal. Okay, this is another. There is let's say a pedal like Boss that can reproduce. I don't know how does it work, but in any case, in that the pedal create let's say a loop on the guitar, but is not the loop of the external. It is it's like that the pedal record a part of the guitar and playback and as infinity. So you can raise down the volume of the guitar and the pedal continue to play. So it's completely different. It's like I record a loop, okay? I can stop to play and the loop continues infinitely. If I remember well, that is the concept of the Boss sustainer pedal. Ok. La love chat può farmi un appuntamento. Abbiamo anche del love chat, fantastico. On that guitar, the sustain is really amazing. Yes, this guitar is a really amazing sustain itself. And the guitar contribute a lot because okay, I told you it is acoustic, wave, pressure. It is a gain and also the guitar, the geometry of the guitar and the quality of the guitar. It is the mix contributed to get the proper sound. Okay. Okay. I think that I hope that I explain all the things regarding this. Of course, on stage, I use my, as I told you, I like to use my LS8 or MF10 to get the interaction with the natural and physical speaker and to get easily this effect. And this is the reason that in any case it's necessary to have something that something acoustic on the stage. So if you don't need to make any feedback or controlled feedback, you don't need practical, you don't need external cabinet, but it's absolutely up to you. The Boss pedal doesn't sound natural. Even the sustaining pickups doesn't sound as natural feedback. Sven Anderson, the Sustanic, I had a Sustanic and I tested Sustanic on the Schecter Eclipse that also Massimo has. I can tell you that is nice. It's not bad. Because in any case, it is a magnetic, of course, that creates the oscillation, and the sound comes in any case from the strings, from the guitar itself. It's not like the Boss that is a loop, recorded loop. The sounds in any case comes from the guitar. I have to be honest, it's not nice. It's not bad, absolutely. Marco. Okay, Mutella asked me. I explain about the patch. Mutella, the patch itself is nothing special. There is the solo 100 amp, okay, with let's say more or less default settings. There is a drive, but it's not high drive. As you can see, it's a fast booster with the drive, low drive and low level. So it is only to get me a booster and don't affect too much the sound of the amp, because the sound itself, I can show you, sound itself is already high gain sound. Let me. So I need something that give me more distortion, but without modifying the voice. So the amount of gain is really small, but enough to create the feedback easily. Okay, I can of course, if you want to have more feedback at a lower amp, I have to increase the drive. Very simple. I can also use the compressor, okay, to help again the feedback effect. So when I create my patches, I take care about okay, to have the as much gain as possible, but without compromise the sound, and also in terms of voice, in terms of let's say control of the feedback, because if I use too much gain, the feedback is not anymore controlled, and I need a controlled feedback, not uncontrolled feedback. Okay. About the clean sound, is nothing special. I use the rhythm. It's a really my clean sound is not clean, is a crunch with a low gain, because I love to play with the dynamic of the guitar. I can make you, for example, no. With the headphone, of course, it's not possible to get any infinite feedback, because there is nothing that closes the loop. But if I switch on the, sorry, I close, okay. As you saw, with the compressor, I added the compression in the presets. I need less volume to get the feedback. So before I was over 100 decibel. Now I am at 96, 97. So this is the difference: more gain, less volume. Exactly, really infinite. Okay, okay. But the influence of the compressor. Yeah, the compressor helps a lot in this case because now the volume is lower than before, so the compressor helps. Sometimes there are some part of the guitar where the feedback doesn't start easily. it depends, even because the volume here is not so loud. Okay, it's loud, but not like on the stage. Of course, on the stage is much more easy to get the controlled feedback. For complete clarity, only what we hear is only direct signal, no signal from any room mic. Also, no mix between room mic. Absolutely not. Exactly, Mabu. When I play, I have a switch to switch off here. Okay. This is okay. This is the switch. Let me to switch off the microphone. Okay, because otherwise you hear the sound of the monitor that go to the microphone, and it is really terrible, of course. So, okay, I think that I get all informations. If you have other questions regarding this, I drink some water. The preset itself is say nothing special, but it is available on my store. You can find in descriptions. Okay. If you have no other questions, I say you goodbye. Thank you very much for your attention. And if you have any questions, put the questions below the video. And I hope to see you again very soon. So, thank you so much, guys. Bye. Ciao.